50 years I've been in the ministry, we've lost, because of modernization and education, we've lost our prayer tradition. And we need to go back to it, because it served us. It served our people well. If we could ever get back to our authentic prayer tradition, we could see mightier miracles than we see today. Your life would be better if you could get back to your ancestors' prayer. Anybody want to know about our prayer tradition?
Yes.
Jesus' in this text, we see our prayer wrapped around Jesus'. There are three things I want to lift up about our prayer tradition, and because they're found in Jesus' prayer tradition. And those three things, the first thing is the residency of prayer. Not the resonance, but the residency, where it lives. The place of prayer. Where was Jesus' place? The residence of his prayer. The place where it dwelt. The place that it was. The place where it lived. Where was the home of his prayer tradition? The residence. The Bible said, in many cases, Jesus prayed. In this one, he finds himself in the Garden of Gethsemane. I told you, across the Kidron Valley, on a ridge overlooking Jerusalem, or looking upon Jerusalem, in a garden called Gethsemane. Can I describe Gethsemane for you? It was a mile long. And they had paths that would travel 1 mile through, meandering through the garden. The garden was filled with olive trees that branched out and they hung, and it was able to see hidden places. And Jesus took the disciples to the gate of Gethsemane. And he takes Peter, James, and John further down into the garden. And can you see him going around that path, going into the trees? And the disciples that he left, they lost track of him because he was traveling down, way down into the garden, the residence. And when it got far enough that he could not see the other 9 disciples, he said, now, Peter, James, and John, you stay here. And you watch and pray while I go a little further. I like the word he uses. He said, while I go yonder.
All right.
So when he leaves Peter, James, and John here, and then he travels way down in the garden. They could not see him nor hear him. It was the residence of his prayer. He wanted to be alone. The residence of his prayer is one of privacy. One of being all by yourself. Mm-hmm. It is one, y'all listen, it is one of pushing stuff out of the way.
Come on now.
So the conversation with God becomes an A and B conversation.
That's it. Come on now.
No one can butt in because it is an A and
B. Come on, Pastor.
A standing for Alpha, God, and the B standing for Beta, which is 2, the second alphabet. So the conversation Jesus wants to have with his Father, he wants it to be one between his Father and himself. Come on. No one does he want to hear what he has to say, because it is only important for him. That's been the tradition of our prayers. My daughter knows the nickname that I had for my grandfather. All of the grandchildren that my granddaddy had, I'm the only one that called him by this name. I call him Can't Be. Don't ask me what it means. I don't have no clue. I don't know where I got it from. I used to know, but I got old. I can't remember it no more. But I call him Can't Be. His picture's sitting right up on my table at home. I look at him every day. My granddaddy. My granddaddy was a deacon in the church. He had a prayer tradition just like the Lord. I saw it working one day. I was at his house in Dinwiddie. That summer that I would spend summers with my grandmother and father in the farm and doing farm chores. And, Granddaddy would get up early in the morning. Grandma would already be up. You could smell the real, I'm talking about real bacon. Y'all know what real bacon smell like?
Yeah.
I ain't talking about that store-bought stuff in there. That stuff don't smell like nothing. I'm talking about some real bacon that been in the smokehouse. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. That grandma sliced with that butcher knife and cooked in some lard and grease. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes.
That's grandma had rolls in the oven, and I'm sitting laying in bed, and all of a sudden I'm waking up. Well, this smells good. And grandma already went out in the house and got them fresh eggs out there from that the hens had laid and cracked them, and boy, they had some good chopped cheese in it, boy. Oh my God, my God. Early in the morning, the sun hadn't even come up. All of a sudden I heard, I said, Granddaddy, what is that? And I get up at the table, and that's some fresh. Grandpa eat fast. Drank his coffee. I can see him now. Had his teeth out of his mouth. He just, and when he finished, he put them back in. I can see him go. When Grandpa was finished, my granddaddy would make an A-line out of the house. You stay here, boy. Every morning. You stay here, boy. He would make an A-line, B-line down in the woods. I said, sorry, he won't tell me, you stay here, boy, no more. Next morning, I got news for him. He tell me, stay here. I'm going to check this out. He went so far. And I'm a city boy. I ain't like no snakes. Back home, they had high-line moccasins. Y'all don't know nothing about no high-line moccasins. I'm walking through the woods, looking. I said, Jesus, Mayfire. Got way down in the woods. I said, Jesus, he gonna have to see me because I can't get back home. And I peeped him, and granddaddy was down by a stump with his knee on the ground and his head bowed down. He was calling on the Lord. Heavenly Father, I thank you that my bed wasn't my cooling board. And my sheet wasn't my winding sheet. I thank you. And boy, he would pray and pray. He'd pray for everything under the sun. He'd call on him out here. I bless Jermaine, that's my mama. Bless James and all their children. I said, boy, he would call the roll down there. Foot hit a twig. What you doing there, boy? I just want to see where you're going. Well, you see what I'm doing. Don't come down here no more. I'm praying. I want to be alone. If I wanted you, I'd have asked you. I said, yes, sir. He had to be alone. Anybody know what I'm talking about? We forgot how to pray. Don't you know it's hard to pray with a lot of noise in the house?
That's it. That's right.
A lot of people
Yep.
jabbering and a lot of music and all that stuff. Man, you got to get alone with God. That's why we laugh when that old lady that sang like she got no teeth in her mouth. In the room, come on in the room, in the prayer room. Jesus is my what?
Doctor.
Doctor. He writes all of my scriptures. And he meets me where? In the room by myself. My mother used to say, go to a secret closet. get by yourself. My daddy was a deacon, and daddy used to pray on his knees by the bed, in the bed. When mama used to go in the bathroom early in the morning, I could hear my mama in the bathroom pray. Huh? You don't hear what I'm saying. Them old folk had a place.
Yes.
Residence of prayer where they could get by themselves. They didn't need anybody else there but them and God. It was an A-B conversation.
That's it.
When the last time you had an A-B conversation with God?
Come on
just
now.
you by yourself, private, all alone, with no noise, no nothing. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. Folk mad with deacons and preachers when they pray on Sunday morning because they pray a long time. Well, Jesus prayed more than an hour. That's what the Bible I read said in this chapter. He prayed more than an hour. The first time he prayed an hour, then they came back and they were sleeping. I guess they were sleeping if they prayed an hour. Then they went back a second time and prayed, and they were sleeping when they came back. And the third time, they were still sleeping. And he said, y'all sleep on now. I'll talk with the Lord. Come on. I tell the deacons on Sunday morning, anybody who wants to hear prayer, sometimes people, when you shut out the world and you start talking with God, you don't care nothing about no time, because time don't mean nothing.
That's
it's just
it.
you and God.
That's right.
Even in church on Sunday morning, when you are praying, you can shut the world out. And hear nothing but the voice of God speaking when he talks back to you.